What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be discussing about Coby White and whether or not I personally believe his time will be up for the Chicago Bulls. At the end of the day, with the signing of Goran Dragic, ladies and gentlemen, coming into the Chicago Bulls team as that 15th man on the rotation, and with that amount of guards that we truly have on this team, I think the question has to be asked. Someone is most likely going to get traded, and is that player going to be Coby White? But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bull Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below whether you think Coby White will be traded from the Chicago Bulls team or not. First things first, as I mentioned just earlier on in this video, the amount of guards that we have on this team is a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I can list them all again. Since I did that in the last video, I can do it again in this video. So obviously you've got Lonzo Ball, you've got guys like Zach LaVine, then you move down to the bench, you've got Ayo Dosunmu, you've got Coby White, you've got Dalen Terry, you've got Alex Caruso, you've got Goran Dragic, and if I'm missing one, I apologize, but that's basically a lot of the guards that we have on this Chicago Bulls team. Even if you want to classify DeMar DeRozan as a shooting guard, I'm sure many people would see that, but there's so many guards, whether it's the point guard or the shooting guard position, and we just simply don't have the, the minutes, the rotation necessary to actually play all of these guards. So that's probably the main reason why many people would see Coby White as the option to get traded. Now, ultimately, the question is, do I think Coby White will get traded? I thought at the beginning of free agency, there was a high chance we're going to keep Coby White. But I do feel like a trade is going to be necessary to A, bolster up another position in terms of the Chicago Bulls team, and B, just try to reduce the amount of guards that we truly have, because it is a lot, ladies and gentlemen. We signed a guard in terms of Dalen Terry, and we also signed a guard in terms of Goran Dragic. That's two more guards added to this team, with only one really going from the Chicago Bulls team in Matt Thomas. Now, many people will say that it does come down to Lonzo Ball as well. For example, if Lonzo Ball is actually going to be on this Chicago Bulls team from the very start of the season and onwards, then there's no place for at least one of these guards on this team. And many people would say that would be Coby White. Ultimately, we won't really know. Maybe Goran Dragic is actually the one that doesn't get a lot of those minutes when he comes into this team. But many people would say that Coby White, recently being on the trade block, rumors around Coby White being on the trade block, many people will firstly just direct towards Coby White as the player to get traded, and it makes sense in my opinion as well, considering he will be a restricted free agent. He has one more year to kind of prove himself on any team he decides to go for. If he comes on this team and he doesn't play a lot, we keep him because there's not much trade value, let's say, and he doesn't play a lot on this team. It's going to affect his contract situation as well. So it's not just the Chicago Bulls that should be looking for a trade, in my opinion. I guess that's what I'm getting to. I feel like if Coby White is looking at the situation with the Chicago Bulls team, I know he likes Chicago, and I think he's a very loyal guy. And I think if he had the chase to stay in Chicago, I think he would. But with all that being said, I think for Coby White, it's probably the best for him as well to kind of get a move out of Chicago, because there's too many guards on this team and there's not enough, I guess, minutes to go around for all of these guards. And I do feel like Coby White would probably be one of those guys that will kind of take the hit in many ways. We'll have to wait and see in that regard. But ultimately, the answer, I think, is, yeah, I do feel like Coby White will probably be in more trade talks, and he will have the likelihood of that getting traded, of getting traded. Is it 100%? No. Again, this Bulls front office is extremely unpredictable. To say it's 100% certain that Coby White gets traded is it's naive to think that, because you just never know. Maybe the Bulls will find a way to utilize Coby White in a different sort of scenario where he is going to be effective on this team and he gets those minutes that he needs. But also, we got a whole season to trade Coby White if we really need to. If his trade value sucks now and it doesn't necessarily work out for the Chicago Bulls, I think with Coby White, we have patience. We can utilize our patience and get the best possible deal available over a whole season. That is something to take your eyes on as well. There's always going to be a deal out there, and I feel like, again, a team could always be desperate enough. If a guard goes down to injury on any other team, people will look at Coby White because they know he's probably going to be on a trade block. Teams will get desperate. Teams will offer up other players that might be valuable. So we got to be patient with Coby White as well. It gives him a chance. Let's say if we don't trade him in free agency, it gives him a chance to come into this team, if he gets minutes, work his ass off and play very good basketball. And in that case, his value goes up and we could trade him, or we could even keep him if we feel like he's going to be very valuable with how well he plays. and it gives the Bulls patience to make the right decision. I think with Coby White in this situation, I think we have we have the power. We're in a very good standing in relation to Coby White. So all I'm going to say is, do I think Coby White will get traded at some point throughout the regular season, or even now? I can see Coby White getting traded. Do we need to do it straight away? No, we don't. Do we need to be patient with Coby White? I think we definitely do. Whether it's on the court or with a trade, patience is going to be very, very positive, in my opinion, when it comes to Coby White. There will be a team out there that will be desperate enough to go after a guard if they don't feel like they have the guards necessary. Many teams might feel like it will be worth it if he plays well as well. We got to be very cautious in all those avenues. And I do think in relation to Coby White, it seems like his time is slowly coming to an end with this team. But ultimately, only time will tell. Mysterious ways that Arturas and Mark Eversley work in. If they find a way to make the guard-studded team with Lonzo, Dalen Terry, Coby White, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, Ayo Dosunmu, and I'm sure I've missed another one. They can make it work with all those players, great. But I think logic has to get into it a little bit. I don't think we're going to see that all of those guards play. And I guess it just comes down to what can we get for some of these players. So we'll wait and see. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Just a quick short update video about, again, many people have been talking about this. It's not like this just happened. Many people have been talking about with the sign of Goran Dragic, something else will have to happen. And many people are saying Coby White's name. I like Coby White. I've always said it. I'm not going to change my mind. I like Coby White. I did say at the end of the season we should be looking for a trade, but we've got a lot of time to do that as well. We shouldn't be rushing into anything. So wait and see what ends up happening. And ultimately, if he is on this team and he has a chance to prove himself, I really hope he could turn it around with this team and really make that impact that I think many of us expect and probably believe he can still do. We'll just have to wait and see if he can. That's the only issue. Take care and peace.